All right, what's going on, my peeps? Identity shifting and self-consistency bias or confirmation bias. Today, let's break down identity shifting, self-consistency bias, and confirmation bias, especially as it ties into my destiny report, the new destiny report, the D.E.S.T.I.N.Y report, really everything that I've been doing for the past 30 years, as I've been talking about that your currency cannot exceed your identity. Again, your currency, the money that you make cannot exceed your identity. So how you self-identify, how you see yourself, that's the ceiling. That's the level of wealth that you can accumulate. You cannot accumulate wealth above your identity. So if you don't see yourself as wealthy, there's no way that you can be wealthy. That seems like it's common sense, but it's unconscious. There's an unconscious script that runs in the background that's based upon your nervous system and your self-worth, your self-image. So you can say to yourself that, hey, I'm a good person, I'm this, I'm that, but you're programmed by, culture, you're programmed by parents, programmed by religion, we're programmed by other frequencies, waves, and vibrations that limit our ability to see ourselves. And so we are not able to see ourselves the way God designed itself because we have that limited ability to consciously, because remember 99% of this stuff is controlled by the reticular activating system. And I've been in this space for a very long time, and the thing that really and then this is no knock against any particular religion or any particular belief system, but most of those belief systems, most of the religions are rooted and grounded in fear. They're rooted and grounded in a very, very, very low frequency. In other words, we don't see ourselves the way that God designed itself. It's just that's it. Hey, what's going on, Sister Stephanie? Is that you? Hey, what's going on, my sister? And so it's very important as we talk about, getting past this ceiling that we've placed upon ourselves that's called a self-consistency bias. One of the things that stood out to me is there's this TikTok video. Her name was Jasmine P. Green. Jasmine Green. I think I'm getting the name. I just actually just saw the video recently on TikTok that was talking about this same issue. Now, you guys know I've been in this space for a good 30 years doing the D.E.S.T.I.N.Y Destiny report, delving into the importance of like visual mandalas, breath work, a lot of stuff that, Sister Stephanie, Mo Davis talks about as well. And it's very, 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 very important. We can get into some of the other things that we're not here to promote any one technique over the other. But the goal is to do the shadow work. The goal is to go in and do, it's internal, it's not external. There's so much emphasis that's placed upon external work when actually the kingdom of God is within. The scripture says the same thing. So success starts with going within. If you want to win, you have to go within. So there's this emphasis that we put the keys to our happiness in other people's pocket, meaning that we look for something or we look for someone outside of the self to actually assist us. And again, there's nothing wrong with getting external assistance from a reverend, doctor, bishop, master teacher 33 or whoever. However, there's nothing like sitting down, taking a deep breath, doing some quiet and meditation, pondering, and just tuning out and tuning in. One of the things that's so important, as I talk about all the time, the power that's inside of what I call letters and numbers, numerology, theomathematics, biblical alphanumerics, astrotheology, neuroscience, all of the different modalities that I talk about every single day. Because from where I came from to where I am now, especially in the area of just my own personal psychology, and then also in the area of self-worth, my own self-image. Because I had a faulty self-image. And 99% of the people that I talk to, their true core issue when you peel back all the layers is they have a faulty self-image. It's very difficult. Your currency, your wealth will never exceed your self-image. And so the power of letters and numbers, the power of understanding something as simple as the 144 epigenetic. Again, this is my terminology. This is all, proprietary information that I've created over the years, dealing with understanding that your constellation. So we all are born under a specific star seed. So your birth date at the time that you were born, the month, the date, and the year that you was born, it was under a specific constellation, whether it was the Draco star system, whether it's Palladian star system, that matches one of the churches that's talked about inside of the book of Revelations, that also matches one of the levels of your 7 chakra system, that also matches the 7 blood types. So again, all of this is included inside the website. And again, this is all proprietary, so this is all new information that is difficult, or I haven't been able to find it online. All of the different pieces of the puzzle that shows and helps to raise your frequency. Everything, establishing heaven on earth. That's the purpose. We're here. Our Father, which art in heaven, high vibration, hallowed would be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Earth, rearrange the letters of the word earth, you get the word heart. Also inside of the word earth is the word ear. So faith comes by, how does faith come? It didn't say by seeing, it says not tasting or touching. It says faith comes by hearing. So it's frequencies, it's waves, it's verbs and vibrations. Life and death is also in the power of the tongue. All of that is scriptural. And it's also biological. It's also neurological. And so all of this stuff, cosmology, theology, and biology, they're all saying the exact same thing. So that's why, it's difficult. I struggle with a lot of my quote unquote people, the melanated, demographics, because we put so much emphasis on religion, and then we negate or we don't emphasize biology. And we surely don't get into, many of us don't get into neuroscience and understanding the power of physics, and understanding quantum physics and particle physics, and how all of this ties into to strengthen the 3-stranded cord that can't be broken. If you do these 3 things, I guarantee your success. If you do these 3 things, number 1, clarity. But clarity of what? Clarity of self. And because clarity of self is also clarity of source. Jesus said, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Me and the Father are one. So contrary to popular belief, we are all individual little Jesus is. Is there such a thing? Simply meaning that we are individual expressions of God on earth. So Jesus said at first, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Jesus said, hey, I'm out of here. I got to go. But I'm going to leave you with the Comforter. Jesus is our elder brother. He's the firstborn of many brethren. That's in your Bible as well. And so we have to come to this, because I know a lot of my clients come from a religious background, as myself, been in ministry, all levels of ministry, going into the church, all that good stuff. I get it. Been there, done that, man. I understand. I'm not against it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in addition to. I'm saying exactly what it says in Hebrews chapter 6. So again, I'm not your enemy. I'm actually on your side. But Hebrews 6 tells we need to go on to maturity. How does it say to go on to maturity in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 1, 2, and 3? I'm paraphrasing. You should look it up for yourself. And this, in love, as much love as I can extend to all my melanated brothers and sisters, it's very important for us to grow up and move on past the basic teachings of Jesus Christ and Him crucified. That's what it says in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 1, 2, and 3. It says to be mature. The word mature means teleates. Teleates means telomeres. The telomeres, why do we, quote unquote, unravel? Why do we transition? Your telomeres. Once your telomeres unravel, we, D-Y-E, we change colors and come back. Again, metamorphosis, aka, again, metamorphosis, resurrection, or reincarnation. All of this is biblical. But if we don't have etymology, because etymology is the foundation of my theology. Once you truly tap into true etymology and break these words down, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. Life and death is inside these words, because in the beginning was the word. And so your job and my job is to understand the power of these words. And it's very important. You can't take my word for it. You can't take anybody else's word. You have to study so you're self-approved. That just simply means that you should delve into, sure, research and study and listen to people like myself and other people. But at the end of the day, again, it's done unto you as you believe. So no matter what guru that you are talking to or listening to, hey, what's going on, Sister Pam? It's very important that we do our own research. And so it's extremely important, brothers and sisters, because letters and numbers are emanations. They're not just letters and numbers. For us, they are just letters and numbers, but they carry a lot more weight and they carry a lot more meaning. And so that's the first thing that we have to do, is we have to understand the power that's inside of self-consistency bias. You can only achieve to the level that you believe. Period. Self-consistency bias. Self-consistency bias. Confirmation bias. Cognitive bias. We are all biased. And because of your bias, because of your belief, because of your unconscious pattern, usually 99.9% of the time, we have an unconscious pattern. We are consciously desiring A, but we are unconsciously afraid of A. So you could be consciously pursuing wealth or let's say a job promotion, but you are unconsciously believing that you're not qualified. So you consciously want the job, but you unconsciously believe that you're not qualified for the job. So since, just like an iceberg, the thing that is the part of the iceberg that is visible is a quarter of the size of the ice that's under the water, that is non-visible. So just like in an iceberg, when you look at an iceberg, the ice that you see above the water is half or a quarter of the size of the ice that is below the water. Now, I gotta say that again slowly, because this is extreme. Just checking, make sure everything, okay, going good. And so it's very important. So that's where our beliefs are. So the belief that you believe consciously is 1/4 of the belief that you believe unconsciously. Just like an iceberg. What's up, Brother Mwangu? What's up, my brother? And so you are unconsciously, now remember, we're talking about self-consistency bias. The self always maintain consistency with its bias, contrary to popular belief. 30 plus years doing this, not once have anyone, I know, myself included, exceeded their self-consistency bias. That's part of the reticular activating system that is below the threshold of the consciousness. And so it's very important that we always understand that you can only manifest. What's up, Brother Faneo? What's up, my brother? So it's very important that you address it by making it conscious. So I work on this every day. And that's why I created the new Destiny Report, to really, really, really dig into the true core Mandela, the true core essence that's unconscious. So sigils are a visual representation of a mental disposition. A sigil. A sigil is a visual representation of a mental disposition. So I put this inside of the new Destiny Report. That's one of the things. So 144 attributes and characteristics. Now this is our proprietary information, along with the blood, 7 blood types, churches, 7 churches in the book of Revelations, chakras, 7 chakras, constellations, 7 major. There's more, but 7 major. There's more chakras, but there's 7. So we focus because 7 represents the number of completion. So when you tap into and you see this on a visual spectrum, so I created this app that allows me to create this visual mandala that allows you, and let me show you a copy of one that I've been working on for one of my clients, to help give you a true understanding, because what we're talking about is how to unlock the 144 attributes and characteristics that we all have inside the soul. Soul is made up of the mind, will, emotion, imagination, and your intel or your intellect. Everybody, regardless, again, this is all part of what I call the 144 word epigenetic matrix. You know what? Excuse me for just a second. Let me wipe off flip this back over. Where is let me clean off this camera for a sec. So it's very, very important. And the reason why this is so important, now remember, when I started this, there wasn't, and there still isn't anyone that's out there that has the 144 numerical codes that I created using gematria, using the Kabbalah, using, again, mathematics and biblical alphanumerics. So all I did was, for example, was took these activation codes that we call letters and numbers, and I put them in a form that allows you to be able to restructure the way that the mind, will, emotions, imagination, the intellect, soul works. And what I found out was by going through this and creating a numerical value that matches, let me see, where's my other report? Give me 1 second. Let me pull up. Okay, here we go. That matches. So here's an example of the number 1. So the number 1 has attributes and characteristics. For example, the number 1 means leader, means independence, it means self-motivated, it means verbally, it means direct, individual, single-minded. You see all those words. Each one of those words have a numerical value. The numerical value of the number, the letter, or the word, I should say, leader is 27. Then 27 equals 9. The color code for the number 9 is pink or magenta. So by putting that into a mandala, which is nothing but, again, what we call a circle. But when you put that circle into a 144 word matrix, which is what I created inside the app. And again, because it's proprietary, can't give you, I can't give you the cow, because then you won't buy the milk. But I can't give you the cow, brother, because then you ain't gonna buy the milk. But I put this inside of the report. And to give you an example, let me find my one I was working on this morning. And finally, I have been doing this by hand for years. And everybody knows, because here's an example of a report that I did for one of my clients. That's just the life optimization circle. So taking this circle, that exact same client, took those exact same numbers, and now we come up with this circle. Notice the colors on the outside. There's 132 colors. Each one of those colors has a word that corresponds with it that the brain automatically knows. Inside that is 12. And so we got 12 times 12. That's where I get the 144 from. And so when you look at that, that activates what is called your codex or codon, C-O-D-O-N. It turns your code on, codons. So we all have codons inside of our DNA. So this is one of the ways by which to activate, to turn on the aspects and the characteristics of the DNA that are turned off due to diet, due to lack of proper breathing, due to a lack of education, due to self-consistency bias. Remember, your income matches the consistency of the self-image that you're maintaining. One more time for the people in the back. Your income cannot exceed. A lot of people want more money, they want more health, they want more wisdom, but it ain't going to happen. And the reason that it can't happen is because your image. Now, you've been listening to some preacher, some reverend, some doctor, some bishop who've been telling you that you are a worthless sinner. I ain't saying that you are. I ain't saying that you ain't. I'm just saying you can override This is Dr. Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza, neuroscience. This is, I got 100 grand to the Negro or the non-Negro that can prove me wrong. That epigenetics, that you can rewrite your DNA, that you can mold your neuroplasticity, that the brain matches your self-talk. If you walk around telling yourself that you are a worthless sinner, I don't care what you are, your brain, every cell in your body is listening to you, and it's going to believe you. Now, I'm not saying now whether you are or you ain't, the brain doesn't give a blank. Whether you are or you ain't, the brain doesn't give a blank. See, the brain just believes what's frequently repeated. So no, I don't get into rely on. I know us melanated folk. I ain't mad at you. I went to Ebenezer Baptist too. But it's time to grow up, boo-boo. It's time to read Hebrews 6, man. For all of my religious folks, it's time for us to grow up. We need to be on the meat of the word. It's done unto you as you believe. Your sins have been removed as far as the east is from the west. I've read Ephesians 2. I know I'm a new creation. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. I know I've been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. The life that I now live, I live in positive power. So I know I've been young, now I'm old. Never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. So whether we want to talk religion, I can do that too. Whether we want to talk biology, I can do that too. Whether we want to talk cosmology, I can do that too. Whether you want to talk physics, I can do that too. Whether you want to talk AI, artificial intelligence, I can do that too. So whatever level of awareness you're on, brother, whatever level of awareness you're on, sister, we can go there with anybody. I'll put my overstanding up against your overstanding any day of the week. Using cosmology, theology, and biology, I got 100 grand. I put up 100 grand to go against your belief system. Because I guarantee you, especially for my melanated friends out there, your individual, conscious, consistent bias is being sustained by a belief system that is causing emotional drain because it's rooted and grounded in toxic shame because of the lingering effects of Willie Lynch and the lingering effects of mental slavery. 99.99% of melanated people, I know because I spend a lot of time there, and it's important. I'm not here to debate. I'm here to educate. So no, I don't argue. I don't debate. I don't talk about, Catholics and Muslims, whether you are Seventh-day Adventist, whether you are perennialist, whether you're into Sufism, perennialism, the Kabbalah. I'm interested in self-consistency bias. That just simply means that you're on a level based upon what you consistently believe about yourself. You live on the level of what you unconsciously, consistently repeat to yourself. So since you're unconsciously, and I can tell by looking at your environment. So if you want to know what somebody's thinking in their head, look at what they're holding in their hands. If you want to know what somebody's thinking in their head, look what they're holding in their hands. If you really want to know, now remember, I'm a fruit inspector. I know a lot of reverends, doctors, and bishops say, but they don't do. Like it talks about in Matthew 23. But again, I ain't here to condemn anybody. I'm not here to argue or debate. This is not a popularity contest. I'm interested in one thing and one thing only. Can you pay your light bill on time? That's it. Me too. I hold myself to the same standard that I share with everybody else. I wake up every morning and I ain't got no rich uncles and nephews. I don't got no safety net. If it is to be, it's up to me. That's it. So I have to put myself in a space where all things work together for my good, Brother Mwanga. That's where I live at, bro. So I don't live in this world. I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. Can't. So my system is not in this world. So everything that I teach, You can't find it in, you can't find it in Google. You can't find it on ChatGPT. You can't find it in Perplexity. You can't find it on Claude. You cannot find it on the internet. You cannot find it. So when you look at my system, it's not based upon this world. So when I talk about the 7 constellations, because it's a constant installation, you can't find it on the internet. You can find all the constellations, but how does the constellations control your brain? How does the frequencies, the waves and vibrations that are being sent out, how does the CMEs that's released by the sun, these coronal mass ejection, you got a coronal, you got a coronal radiator. Google it, research it. But it's a part of the brain. But they don't tell you how your nerves are impacted by your verbs. So if you use the wrong verbs, this is vibranium. Like in Black Panther, they use vibranium. They were trying to tell you in the movie Black Panther, vibranium is vibranium. Verbs are action words. Wrong verbs, you activate the wrong nerves. You live on the level of your nervous system. Your nerves control your wealth. So when you get nervous, like you're trying to sell something and you're nervous, I pick it up. It's unconscious, so I ain't gonna buy it. Why? No clarity, no certainty, no confidence. You can't sell grapes to a monkey if you ain't got no confidence. Why? Because people pick up that frequency. Even though you can have the best product in the world. You can have the best product in the world, but you don't have the confidence in the product because your words don't have no weight. Not you personally, people, you know. So my words have weight because I don't say words that I don't back up. So I'm not going to put 100 grand on the line for something that I ain't willing to die for. So you can put a gun to my head and I'm willing to die today for what I believe. Because it's based upon gnosis. Because people perish for lack of gnosis, according to Hosea 4:6. So you should have, whatever you're saying, you should be able to prove it to me cosmologically. Whatever you're saying, you should be able to prove it to me theologically. Whatever you're saying, you should be able to prove it to me biologically. Whatever you're saying, you should be able to prove it to me etymologically. You should be able to trace back those words back to their source and find the true essence, the true core meaning. That's what power is. Power comes from clarity. So you can't speak with power if you don't have no clarity. Crystal clear clarity though, because there's a lot of definitions. There's a lot of words. Things have changed over time. And the dominant culture is dominant because they know how to hide the truth in plain sight. That's why they're on top. So the dominant culture can take away something like the Tartarian Empire. The dominant culture can take away something like free energy. Okay. So the dominant culture can take away like something like psilocybin. I was talking about like psilocybin. So psilocybin is what? Well, psilocybin is found in mushrooms. They call it magic mushrooms. Psilocybin is illegal. You go to jail for owning, selling, or ingesting psilocybin. Why? Why in the world would a mushroom that naturally grows out, it's like most of the psychedelics, a lot of them. I ain't for it. I ain't against it. I'm just asking you. Anybody read the book, what's the title? Animascaria by my boy, John Allegro? The Animascaria. Now, ask a colored person. Except Sister Sandra. Sister Sandra, I know you know. But what am I saying? What am I saying? All I'm saying is, without getting off topic, a mushroom is illegal because of it has certain properties that leads to the expansion of your consciousness. So why is it that the dominant culture don't want you to expand your consciousness? I already know, but I'm asking for a friend. Brother Mwanga, I know you know, brother. Why do they don't want you to be conscious, Brother Mwanga? Why does the dominant culture want you to stay ignorant? Why? Why does the dominant culture don't want you to think for yourself? Why do they don't want you to do your own research? Why? There's a reason why. We all know, because then I can't control you. If you can honestly think for yourself, then you're going to question the nature of the command. If you can't think for yourself, I can tell you to, hey, go walk around in circles. Like, go walk out into the middle of a busy intersection. You be like in the military, yes, sir. So you don't answer, you don't question the command. You just, the blind leading the blind. And they talks about that in the Bible too, in the book of Matthew 23. So all I'm saying in today's message is to understand the power of self-consistency bias. That means that whatever concept of yourself that you hold consistency, that's your bias. I work on it every day. Going from glory to glory to glory. Self-consistency bias. Self-consistency bias. There's a bias about yourself because you consistently hold that bias. A bias is just a belief. May be true, may not be true. The brain does not care whether your bias is true or not. Let me say it again, because people be telling me about, and not, hey, I'm all for morality and all that stuff, but I do causality. I don't do morality. I do cause. What causes a Negro or a non-Negro to be moral? Let's talk about that. A bias is an inclination, I'm reading it right out, or a prejudice for or against something. It is influenced by judgments, decisions, and actions. Often the bias is unfair, and the bias is usually unconscious. So your unconscious belief system creates a bias, and you draw to you things that verify that bias. So your wealth ceiling is based upon your unconscious bias about yourself. Your self-worth determines your net worth. Your self-worth determines your net worth. Your self-worth determines your net worth. So my brothers, my sisters, I created these cisterns or these systems to help you with understanding your net worth. First one is what I call my life optimization circle generator. I just talked about that just a few minutes ago. Next is understanding we transform our lives through coded consciousness. That's the new Destiny Report, 700 pages that breaks down you using neurology, neuroscience, epigenetics, blood type, God type, all of that good stuff. Last but not least, it's the 360 degrees of gnosis, where I've taken all of this information that I've learned over my 30 plus years of doing this full time. 30 plus years. And it's extremely important, man. And all of this is available at the website, masterteacher33.com, especially the new link that I've just updated a couple of days ago that breaks down. And let me switch over and show you that real quick before we wrap this up today. The website, a lot of stuff here. Basically, and again, you want to go through all of this good stuff, but you want to click over here where it says Destiny Report. I got the Septian Academy here, D.E.S.T.I.N.Y Nutrition, all this right here. This is very important. Again, the Digital Asset Creation Mastermind Group. Also got the new Digital Education for a Digital Revolution. So all of this stuff is very, very important. Neuro wealth. But today we're really focusing on the Destiny Report. Just click on the Destiny Report. Watch the videos. I'll probably put this video on there as well that breaks down the information about this new report. The biggest thing, brothers and sisters, about this Destiny Report, I've been doing D.E.S.T.I.N.Y reports. This is an expanded version of the basic D.E.S.T.I.N.Y report. But inside of this report is where I get into the proprietary information that's not available anywhere, as far as connecting the constellations, the chakras, the churches, and the blood type to your individual authentic destiny or diakonia. Diakonia is just a Greek word that means service or ministry. It's an entire business or ecosystem. This entire business, this entire ecosystem brings about the transformation of your identity, which is what we just been talking about, so that way your identity and your nerves matches Jesus or Yahushua. That's what this is all about. It's all about the things that I have done, you shall do, and even greater things. That's what it says in the Bible. Okay? How is that done? Well, this is the year of 2026. That's where we're going. This is December. December's almost over, so I'm already there. So again, destiny stands for diakonia ecosystem, spiritual identity, and neurological Yahushua. 700 pages, 51 chapters. Each chapter in this book contains some proprietary information. So it's not like the diakonia report that's just based upon, again, numerology. In this report, we get into the constellations, we get into the blood type, we get into also the church type, which is your God type. Again, the biggest part of this report is the mandala, or the visual sigil that activates the codons inside the nerves. So everybody has their own. This is just an example of some apparel, but this is the most important piece of the puzzle. Each one of those colors and numbers has a word to go along with it, as I mentioned earlier. And again, going back to the example that I talked about earlier, let's see, what was that at? I think I put it over here. And as we went through the number 1 as an example, and there we go. So that's number 1. So if you got the number 1 in your report, there are 9 aspects of number 1. And inside those different 9 aspects, there are 9 different colors. Look, we got pink, we got orange, we got indigo, we got blue, we got turquoise. All of these different colors represents different aspects of your nature. And so by you studying, researching, and believing and absorbing these numbers, it brings about a change in your identity. And when you change your identity, your identity determines how high you fly. Once you become authentic, you're no longer artificial. And then you're walking in true D.I. or S.I. There's a war coming. Actually, it's already here. There's a war between D.I. and A.I. D.I. is divine intelligence. A.I. is artificial intelligence. There's a war coming, which is really already here. AI versus AI. Authentic intelligence versus artificial intelligence. You know which one's going to win? I know. Authentic intelligence trumps artificial intelligence. This report and all of this 700 pages, all the apparel and everything's available at the website. Originally sells for, $9.99, on sale for $4.99 for the rest of this year. Makes a great Christmas gift for yourself or for someone else. Get all of the apparel and the 700-page report inside of a paperback book that breaks down. And it's a lot more information than what we've talked about before. I may do a couple of more shows to delve into what's all included inside the report. But you can also go to the website at masterteacher30.com. Man, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Mother Mwanga, I love you, my brother. Sister Stephanie, everybody else for joining me today, man. I thank you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in today. God bless, and we're going to see you at the top.